Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I've been reading so many stories about Imam Hussain and I've learned so much, and I can't wait to explore all these stories with all of you at home. We'll also explore some of the loyal family and friends of Imam Hussain, and even the naughty ones too. You know what I learned? I've learned so much. For example, did you know that Ashura means the 10th in Arabic? You know, it's very important for us to learn more about our history. It makes us better Muslims. So, let's start. Muharram is the first month of the Islamic calendar. It's not like a new year because it's not a happy month. In fact, it's the total opposite. Muharram is a month to remember someone very special that gave up his life for Islam, to show those who are against us that Islam will never stop. Did you know that even though Muharram is a sad month, it actually brings Muslims together? We all try and go to the mosque and learn each year more about the journey of Imam Hussain, his family and friends. Muslims all around the world remember the struggle of Imam Hussain, the grandson of the Holy Prophet. That's why we wear black. And we gather together to remember Imam Hussain, his family and friends that were at the battle with him. It is also known as Azadari. Azadari is when we mourn for our beloved Imam. It's another word for grieving. Grieving is when someone is very sad and upset about someone who had died. It's called sorrow. There are different ways of grieving. Some people might want to cry, and some people might want to just be alone. And that's why when we go to the mosque, we can grieve in any way we want, or can. It helps when you are with more people, because Islam is all about sticking together. Do you remember who Imam Hussein's parents are? That's right! Well done! They're Imam Ali and Lady Fatima Zahra. Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain were called the sons of the Holy Prophet. He loved them very much and saw them as his own sons. And they loved him very, very much. Imam Hussain is younger than Imam Hassan, and he is the third Imam. Hussain ibn Ali, which means Hussain, the son of Ali, the grandson of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, took a stand against Yazid's dishonest and mean rules. Whilst Yazid was feared and hated for his cruelty, Hussain was admired and respected. That means Yazid, nobody liked him. He was a naughty man. But Imam Hussain, he was a very kind and sweet man. And Yazid knew very well. And that's why he decided he would demand and force Imam Hussein's loyalty, hoping to gain some things from this. Bad things. Imam Hussain had a choice to make. To work with Yazid, no doubt he meant he would get loads of money and luxury. To refuse would definitely lead to his own death. What should he do? Well, for Hussain, the choice between the easy way and the right way was no choice at all. He refused. That means he said no. He basically thought of his afterlife, because this life we are living now is a test to show how good we are and to show how much we believe in Allah and the Ahlul Bayt. Imam Hussein's life was now under threat. Hussain decided to move himself and his family to Mecca in hope that Yazid's men, his army, would respect the holy city and not disturb them there. As he waited, messages of support began to arrive from across the empire. That means from across the land. He left for Kufa, a city in Iraq. But suddenly, on his way, he was attacked by the government soldiers who blocked Hussain and his supporters from going towards Kufa. And instead, he was forced to go to a hot, long desert town of Karbala. Once they reached Karbala, a government army surrounded the small group and blocked their access to water. That means they didn't have any water to drink or do wudu or anything. With both camps based at Karbala, Hussain had made it clear that he would not and could not bow to Yazid. He only bows to Allah. The evil army were about 30,000 soldiers, which quickly outnumbered Hussein's small band of 72 men and their families. Let's take a break. Next up, we have a story and more on Imam Hussain, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
I am small, but my love for Imam Hussain is big. Even though I am small, I promise to give my all. Even though I am small, I promise to give my all. I have my time to share for you, the one I'm most care for. Your Hussain, your call, hal man yansurni. I answer wholeheartedly. My love for you is untimely. Just wait for me and you will see. All I promise to give my all. Even though I am small, I promise to give my all. I have my time to share for you, the one I'm most care for. Your Hussain, your call, hal man yansurni. I answer wholeheartedly.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Penny.
Alaikum salam, Zainab.
I'm so glad you've joined us.
Of course, I had to come. I love learning all about what happened in Muharram.
I know you do. Me too. But Penny, you're so clever. I'm sure you know so much about Muharram already. I know this because you've already taught me so much.
Thank you, Zainab.
You're welcome. But, also, I really want to say that I really like your hijab today. It's very different to what you normally wear.
Thank you. I normally wear white because white is my favourite colour. But today I decided to wear black.
Well, what's wrong? You seem upset.
Well, all my friends at school are wearing black hijabs and black clothes.
Well, yeah, that's because we usually do wear black in Muharram.
I know we do, and I know you think I'm clever.
Definitely.
And I do know a lot of things, but I'm very confused.
How come?
Well, about wearing black. Why do we do it?
Well, that's the thing. Wearing black isn't all about your looks, yeah? It's more about how you feel. So why don't you like wearing black?
That's the thing. It's not really my colour, and it doesn't go with my orange complexion. And I have to look presentable, you know. So I wear my white hijab. And black is very depressing. Everyone looks the same when they wear black. It's not fair on people who can't pull off black, especially monsters with orange complexion who are clever and called Penny.
Oh, Penny. Well, like I said, it's more than looks. And by the way, I think you look fabulous in black. As I said, Penny, it's less about looks. It's more about how you feel. And also, I think you look fabulous in black and in white. I think you look great in every colour. But it's more about how you feel, like I said. Let me give you an example. So if we look around in this room, here, look at this colour, yellow. It's really bright. But what does it make you feel?
It makes me feel happy and it reminds me of the sun.
Exactly, and it's so bright and colourful, so it makes you feel great. And what if I showed you this colour, blue? What does it make you feel?
Blue makes me feel really calm. Like the sea is very peaceful.
And like your eyes. And my dress, of course. I'm very peaceful and calm as well, don't you think?
You're quite the opposite, Zainab.
Well, at least I'm not wearing the colour red, Penny, which shows anger. So that's a point. And what if I showed you the colour black now? If you think about black, what does it make you feel?
Nothing. It makes me feel empty.
Like space.
Exactly. And it makes me feel sad.
Exactly, that's what it's meant to feel. You're meant to feel sad and upset. And this is because, of course, Imam Hussain and his family were martyred. So, of course, we're going to be sad because we love him. And you know what's interesting? It's that if all of us followers of Imam Hussain are wearing black, then we're united. So it's not just about ourselves, it's also about other people realising that we're upset.
So we wear it to show that we're sad.
Exactly. We wear it when we're sad and upset. And do you know what? I've got an interesting fact. It's not just Muslims. There was once a queen. Her name was Queen Victoria.
Oh, I know her.
You know so much. What do you know about her?
She was the queen who ruled the country for so many years.
Exactly. She ruled for so many years, but one day her husband died. And she, of course, felt like she had to wear black. She was mourning. She was feeling very sad. So she said, I'm not going to wear bright colours for a long time. I'm going to wear black. Can you guess how long she wore black for?
A year?
Not even close. It was for 40 years.
That's such a long time.
I know, for 40 years she wore black. I can't wear black for very long myself. I love my bright colours, you know that, Penny. But 40 years she wore it. And in those 40 years, when anyone saw her wearing black, they knew she was upset and they would not bring up her husband in conversation.
Oh, okay. So I understand now that we wear it when we're sad.
Exactly. And because all of Imam Hussain and his family were killed, and we're of course sad, so we wear black so we're not showing excitement. And it's also for ourselves. If we see yourself wearing black, that we realise, oh wait, we're not meant to be happy and excited right now. We're meant to feel upset. We're meant to be grieving. So it's for ourselves as well.
Can you tell me a story about one of Imam Hussein's family members?
That's a good idea. Maybe that will make you feel sad and realise why we wear black.
Can I tell a story?
Oh, okay. You're quite good at telling stories. Who are you going to tell the story about today?
Bibi Sakina.
Okay, go on then.
Well, when Bibi Sakina's father, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, was ready to go for battle, he was going to go on his horse.
And he was saying goodbye to all of his family and friends.
So the Imam got onto his horse, called Zuljana, and he was about to go into battle, but suddenly the horse stopped and he wouldn't go.
Oh my gosh! Why did the horse stop? What happened?
Imam Hussain said, "Come on, Zuljana, I know you don't want to go, but we have to." Zuljana was very sad, and the horse looked down at his feet. And can you guess who was there?
Well, you said the story was about Bibi Sakina, so I'm guessing it was her.
Yes, she was holding on tightly to Zuljana's leg.
Oh.
Zainab, you can tell the rest of the story.
Oh, thank you. I'm really good at telling stories, you know that. So, what happened was Bibi Sakina was holding on tightly to Zuljana's leg. And she was saying to Zuljana, "Zuljana, please don't take my dad away. Please don't take him into the battle, because you know what happens when someone goes into the battlefield? They don't come back." She was crying and very upset.
But Imam Hussain had to go anyway, didn't he?
Of course he did, because he had to go and save Islam. So he told Bibi Sakina that. He explained to her that I must go, but don't worry, you'll see me in heaven very soon, and you've got to be strong and patient about it though. So Bibi Sakina let her dad go. And you know what's really sad about it? Zuljana took Imam Hussain to the battlefield, but when Zuljana came back, he didn't come with Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain alayhi salam wasn't there.
This story has made me feel very sad, Zainab.
Well, that's true. The entirety of Karbala story and Muharram was very sad, but we can learn so much from it because Imam Hussain saved Islam. And because we're feeling sad, we're not feeling excited and happy like the colour yellow, or calm and tranquil like the colour blue. We're feeling sad, and that's why we wear black.
Well, I'm going to go and buy myself some new black hijabs.
That's a really good idea. I'm so glad you joined me today, Penny, and you told a really good story.
Thank you. I really understand why we wear black.
Good. And hopefully for the rest of Muharram you can try and wear black as well.
I will.
Well, I hope you're wearing black as well. And I'm hoping you learnt lots as well as Penny and I. And we shall see you next time. Say Khadafis, Penny.
Khadafis.
Khadafis.
Once upon a time, a greedy rich man hired a great mathematician. The rich man wanted the mathematician to find the best way possible for him to make the greatest profit in everything he did. The rich man was building a huge safe, and his greatest dream was to fill it with gold and jewels. The mathematician was shut away for months in his study before finally believing he had found the solution. But soon he found there was an error in his calculations, and he started all over again. One night, he appeared at the rich man's house with a big smile on his face. "I found it," he said. "My calculations are perfect." The rich man was going on a long journey the next day, and he didn't have time to listen. He promised the mathematician he would pay him double his wages if he could take care of the charge of the business while he was away and put the new formulas into practice. Excited by his new discovery, the mathematician was delighted to accept. When the rich man returned months later, he found that all of his possessions had gone. Furious, he went to ask for an explanation from the mathematician. The mathematician calmly told him what he had done. He had given everything away to people. The rich man couldn't believe it, but the mathematician explained it further. He said, "For months I analyzed how a rich man could gain the maximum benefit, but what I could do was always limited. There's a limit to how much one man can do something by himself. Then I understood the key was that many people could help us achieve the aim. So the conclusion was that helping others was the best way to get more and more people to benefit us." Disappointed and furious, the greedy man stormed off. Desperate at having lost everything to the harebrained schemes of a madman. However, while he was walking away, very angry, several neighbors ran over, worried about him. All of them had been helped by the mathematician, who shared out the rich man's fortune. They felt so grateful to him that they offered him the hospitality of their houses, and anything such a special man might need. The neighbors even argued over who would get to help him. Over the next few days, he saw the full results of what the mathematician had calculated. Wherever he went, he was received with great honor, and everyone was willing to help him in whatever way they could. He realized that not having anything had given him much, much more. In this way, he managed to quickly set up flourishing businesses. But this time, he followed the brilliant mathematician's advice. No longer did he keep his riches in a safe or anything like it. Instead, he shared out his fortune among 100 friends, whose hearts he had converted into the safest, most grateful and fruitful of safes. I hope you enjoyed that story and learned from it as well. Now, let's continue with the story of Imam Hussain. After a week, word reached Imam Hussain that Yazid has sent orders that Imam Hussain was not allowed to leave Karbala until he had agreed he would work with Yazid. And of course, Imam Hussain wasn't going to do something like that. He knew very well that his end was near. You see, Imam Hussain wanted to keep Islam the same as his grandfather had left it. But Yazid wanted to add and take some things away, which is why Imam Hussain could never accept Yazid. That was something haram, something not allowed. That night, Imam Hussain assembled his group. That means he gathered them, telling them that it was him that Yazid wanted, his life, and that they were able to escape. Imam Hussain wasn't scared for himself. He was scared for others. He wanted to free them. So they didn't do anything what they weren't supposed to do, because Yazid wanted Imam Hussain. There stood Imam Hussain between his family and companions. Imam Hussein's family and friends didn't want to leave his side, even after 3 days of no water. Poor, poor Imam Hussain. After a few days, the naughty soldiers were told to attack and kill Imam Hussain and his companions. Imam Hussein's men were quickly outnumbered. One by one, they were killed. Naughty soldiers surrounded Hussain, eventually killing him too. After his death, the women and children of Imam Hussein's family were taken. His sister Zainab then told everyone what Yazid had done, and how this was very wrong, that they should never follow him or listen to him, to such a mean and heartless man. She was not afraid to say these things in front of him. She even said it like that. She refused to agree with Yazid, and even when she was scared, she didn't care anymore, because something terrible had happened. Our beloved Imam was killed. An Imam that loved and cared about his family and his believers so much that he thought about them before he thought about himself. Today, Muslims and non-Muslims around the world respect and remember Imam Hussain. For him, they mourn and remember the tragic battle of Karbala, in which Hussain, his family and loyal companions were brutally killed one by one. Everyone from all over the world visits Imam Hussein's shrine in the city of Karbala, which is in Iraq, to ask him to help them, because Imam Hussein is the third Imam and he's perfect. So people ask him to ask Allah for all their wishes, because Allah loves Ahlul Bayt and they have a special place in heaven. Next up, we have a poem on Imam Hussein, and afterwards we have some amazing facts. Now we have the poem. It's called My Love for You, Ya Imam. My love for you, Ya Imam, is so true. I will shout Hussein, how art broken, if only you knew. And my tears will drop in vain for you. You are so close to my heart. From it you will never depart. You were born on the 3rd of Sha'ban. You are a gift from the Rahman. Your father was Al-Haydar, the man who lifted the door of Khaybar. He was the first Imam and also one of the first to embrace Islam. Your mother was Zahra. She loved you so much. Whenever you spoke, her heart was always touched. Without resting day and night, you fought against Yazid to show everyone the right. I saw your heart in deep pain. It left you where you were slain. You all fought in vain. Soon your friends and family were left in chains. Thanks to you, Islam, the true path and same, we're living and we're breathing your name. Your children and successors, Imam al-Abidin, were part of a great Ma'sumin. Did they not know you were part of the Ahlul Bayt? On the day of judgment, they will await their fate. This was a very beautiful poem, and I hope everyone at home enjoyed it too. Now it's time for some cool facts. The facts we have for you today are all about Earth. Let's start. Did you know that the Earth isn't actually round? It's actually more of a sphere shape. The reason for this is because the gravitational pull. This pull gives it a few bulges and bumps. So watch out where you walk. I bet you thought there were 24 hours in a day. Yes? Well, actually there aren't. There are 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4 seconds. Oceans cover most of Earth's surface. But did you know that we only discovered 10% of it? Although we found thousands of species, experts think that there could be 25 million, at least more, and they're all waiting for us to discover them in the 90% of the oceans that we haven't even set foot in. Or should I say, dived in? If you like lots of people around, then Greenland is not the place for you. It's the least populated place on Earth, with only 56,000 people. Scientists are looking for a new planet that people could live on, just like Earth. They have found a couple, which could possibly be our next Earth. This one includes the Kepler 22b, which circles around the star much like our planet does. Wonder if this will happen in our lifetime, where instead of moving to a new city, we have to move to a new planet. Did you know that Antarctica contains 70% of world's drinkable water? All that water just in one place. That's amazing. It also has 90% of Earth's ice. Wow, who would have thought that Antarctica gives us so much? Did you know the deepest point on Earth is in the Mariana Trench? It goes down, down, down for a humongous 36,000 feet. That's like 10,960 meters. That would take a long time to get down. And have you heard that there are millions and millions of species on Earth? Well, guess what? Only 14% of the world's species have been actually discovered and identified. That's crazy! This will blow your mind. There are 8.6 million lightning strikes on the surface of the planet each year. Watch out for those lightning storms. Woo. Wow, those facts were amazing. I hope to see you guys very soon, inshallah. مع السلامة.
Oh, hello, and assalamu alaikum. Today, we're having a majlis. Why don't you join us? We're going to be speaking about Imam Hussain and his entire family. Today, I'm going to tell you all about the battle in Karbala and how it actually started. Who were the good heroes and who were the evil baddies? I know. Let's start right from the beginning. First, we have Imam Ali, our first Imam. Imam Ali and Bibi Fatima had two children called Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain, the two brothers. But because Imam Hassan was older, he became Imam after Imam Ali had passed away. Now Yazid and his dad Muawiyah are the bad guys in this story, and it all started when Imam Hassan was the king of the land. Yazid's dad Muawiyah was very, very angry that Imam Hassan was the king because he wanted to be king and he would do anything to remove Imam Hassan from the throne. And this was all because he wanted to be king for himself. Muawiyah was very jealous of how all the Muslims were following Imam Hassan. So he decided to cause many problems for the Imam. So, because Imam Hassan was a peaceful man and our hero of the story, he wanted to stop all this fighting. So he decided to make a deal with Imam Hassan and Muawiyah together. Imam Hassan told Muawiyah, okay, if you want the throne and you want to be king, you can have it. But please stop all the fighting and make sure you promise to give the throne back to me and my family after you, because we are the rightful rulers. And that was the deal that they had both agreed to. However, when Muawiyah was dying and it was time to write down the name of the next king, instead of writing Imam Hussain just as he'd promised, he instead wrote down the name of his own son Yazid. So it was Muawiyah that broke the deal. So, Yazid was now king. And in fact, do you know what? He was worse than Muawiyah. Yes, worse. He was a terrible, terrible king. He used to drink and gamble and used to do so many wrong things. And he wanted everybody to bow down and follow him. Everybody loves Imam Hussain, he thought to himself. So why can't everyone love me instead? What should I do, he thought. I know. If I make Hussain follow me, then everybody else will follow me too. So that was Yazid's main goal, to get Imam Hussain to pay allegiance and bow down to Yazid. When he asked Imam Hussain to do this, what did the Imam say? He said, no, Yazid, because you are a very bad king and you're ruining the image of Islam with all the wrong things you're doing. So Imam Hussain refused to bow down. And Yazid became very, very angry at this. If he does not bow down to me, Yazid said, I must get rid of him. And he plotted against Imam Hussain and his entire family. How sad. Even when he went to perform Hajj, Yazid had sent people to hurt him. So Imam Hussain now had to run. He didn't want anybody else to get hurt. So where could he go now? He had nobody to help him. Can you imagine if you had nowhere to stay and there was always somebody after you trying to hurt you? Wow, it must have been very hard, isn't it? Well, don't worry. Luckily, he had received letters from a town called Kufa. When he opened the letter, it said, Imam Hussain, we support you and we want you to come here and stay safe at our town. Well, can these letters be trusted? Imam Hussain sent his cousin, Muslim ibn Aqil. You are my trusted cousin, he said. Please go to this town of Kufa and tell me if it is safe. So Imam Hussein's cousin Muslim went to Kufa. But by that time, the evil guy Yazid and his whole army had already bribed the people of Kufa, and they were already on the bad side. They'd killed Muslim even before he could tell Imam Hussein not to come. It was so sad. So Imam Hussein and his army were now on their way to Kufa, thinking it was safe. However, this was all changed when they were suddenly stopped by a man called Hur. We're going to talk about Hur in another story. But what happened was Hur and his army used to work for the bad guy Yazid. And he told Imam Hussein, "Stop! You can't go any further. You have to stay here. Bow down to Yazid and accept him as the king, or we'll fight you here on this land." Imam Hussein refused to bow down again, but he decided to ask the people living there, "What is this land called?" "Nineveh," one man said. "Is there another name for it?" Imam Hussein asked. "This land is called Karbala," another man said. And this is when the army and the family of Imam Hussein knew that they had reached the place of their battle. For us, it is so difficult to go without water for just a few hours. But the Imam's family went without water in that heat for 3 whole days. They must have been so strong. And that is exactly how the Battle of Karbala started. All because of Yazid being selfish and wanting allegiance from everybody. He was a very bad king. And poor Imam Hussein had already lost his cousin Muslim way before the battle had even started. It was very sad. Even Teddy's already crying. But don't worry, Teddy. It was all for a good cause in the end, because they saved Islam. They did not give in to Yazid's cruel rulings, and they stayed strong. This teaches us so many things, that even we can be strong. Shall I tell you an example of how we can learn from their strength? Well, one day there was a girl called Amina, and she found her friend drinking some water and mumbling to herself. "Fatima, what are you saying?" asked Amina. "I'm saying salams to Imam Hussein," she replied. Amina was very confused as to why Fatima was saying salam to the Imam while she was drinking water. "Well," Fatima says, "it's because we have so much water that we should thank Allah by remembering Imam Hussein and his family, because they didn't have any water at all," Fatima explained. "Oh wow, I want to remember Imam Hussein too," explained Amina, and she took a glass of water and said salams to her Imam. And that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for listening and joining into our majlis, and we hope you learnt lots. Bye.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا دليلا وأينا حتى تسكنه أرضك فتمتعه فيها تبيلا.
Salam everyone. Today is a special majlis because we have someone with us who is 10 times better than Rasikin. We have Ammar al-Nashid. Salamu alaikum Ammar.
Walaikum salam, uncle. Salam alaikum, everyone at home.
You're my favorite Ammar.
How many Ammars do you know?
1, 2, just kidding, on you.
Thank you. Okay, well, today I'm coming to read a small latmiyah for you for Imam Hussain alayhi salam and Abul Fadl Abbas. So you're going to help me. All you have to say, uncle, is Hussain, Hussain. So
Yeah.
follow me for the first one,
Okay.
and then you get a hang of it, and then you can join with me, okay?
Okay.
Bismillah. Come aid me, Hussain, Hussain, come aid me,
Hussain, Hussain.
Ya Hussain, and if my 2 feet fail me,
Hussain, Hussain.
if my eyes were not to mourn you, save me,
Hussain, Hussain.
If they fail to walk at all, Sayyidi, then I will crawl, and my tears had better fall. Come aid me,
Hussain, Hussain.
I'm crazy,
Hussain, Hussain.
In your loving, it's the way you raise me,
Hussain, Hussain.
And no medicine will heal or change me,
Hussain, Hussain.
It's the way I want to stay, a lunatic for Hussain. No one can control the rain. I'm crazy,
Hussain, Hussain.
so leave me,
Hussain,
Hussain.
Hussain.
Let my tears flow for Hussain and leave me,
Hussain, Hussain.
Let the blood rain for Hussain and bleed free,
Hussain, Hussain.
Let the heavens ache in I, cry until they are dry, and stop asking all your whys and leave me.
Hussain, Hussain.
When near you,
Hussain,
Hussain,
Hussain.
if you hear me, can you make me hear you,
Hussain, Hussain.
I am walking up to your shrine tearful.
Hussain, Hussain.
Let them call me what they call, when for you my tears they fall. Zainab is catching them all and counting.
Hussain.
My reason, Hussain, Hussain, my day and my night and my 4 seasons.
Hussain, Hussain.
My reason,
Hussain,
Hussain, my day and my night and my 4 seasons.
Hussain, Hussain.
My love and my blood and heart and the air I breathe in.
Hussain, Hussain.
My reason,
Hussain, Hussain.
my day and my night and my 4 seasons.
Hussain, Hussain.
My blood and heart and the air I breathe in.
Hussain, Hussain.
My spirit, you are my soul. Sayyidi, you are my all. Sayyidi, you are my goal, my reason.
Hussain.
They told me,
Hussain,
Hussain, life would be full of pain, but only
Hussain, Hussain.
Abba Abdullah's pain consoles me,
Hussain, Hussain.
and you overpower and control me,
Hussain, Hussain.
I am in your holy hands, submitting to your commands, and when I enter your land, console me.
Hussain, Hussain.
يا أبا الفضل لو صحت تهتز السماوات، يا أبا الفضل لو صحت تبقى محنا هيهات، يا أبا الفضل يا أبا الفضل يا أبا الفضل يا أبا الفضل. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Inshallah, next time we will carry on and do more latmiyat, inshallah, uncle.
Inshallah, that was very nice.
Thank you
I would like
so
to invite you to my majlis, inshallah.
Inshallah, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, children. Ma'a salama.
Assalamu everyone. Bye bye.
عبد الله السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله
and Assalamu alaikum. Today, in today's majlis, I've come all the way here to tell you about a champion. This champion is called Ja'far ibn Ali. Are you excited, Teddy? So am I. What was that? You'd like to know more about him? Well, let's read the story together and learn some more about him. Are you ready? Are you ready at home? Did you know that because it's a sad time, because it's Muharram, I especially love Muharram because it's a time where lots of people come together from all over the world and they talk about Imam Hussain, peace be upon him, and it reminds us of what's really important. When it's Muharram, it reminds me that my family, friends and the Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them, are important to me. Today's majlis is all about Ja'far ibn Ali, peace be upon him. He was very important. Did you know that he was Imam Ali's brother? That's right. Teddy, it was really late at night and all was calm and quiet, or so it seemed that way. The very best people in the whole world were getting ready to leave this world and go back to Allah. Do you know who they are, children? Do you know, Teddy? That's right, the family of the Prophet's household, the Ahlul Bayt. But just on the other side of the battlefield were some worst people in the world, That's right, Teddy. It was the camp of Yazid's really bad soldiers, which included Umar ibn Sa'd and Shimr. Those who wanted the best in this world and the next chose to be with Imam Hussain. That's right. But what about the baddies? Well, what could they hope for in this life or the next if they hurt the Ahlul Bayt? They were awful, just awful, Teddy. Among the camp of Imam Hussain was a brave, kind and clever young man whose name was Ja'far ibn Ali. He would sit on his prayer mat and tears would roll down his cheek while he spoke to Allah. His prayers were so special that they reminded the other members of the Ahlul Bayt of Imam Ali. Ja'far bin Ali was Imam Hussein's own brother. Gosh, that's a bit sad. But it just goes to show how much he loved praying, just like his father, Imam Ali. That's right, Teddy. Ja'far ibn Ali had been with the Imam for all of his journey, right from the start in Medina. He remembered Banin's advice. She said, "My son, do not ever leave Imam Hussain on his own, not even for 1 minute, not even for a second. Remember, he's the son of Lady Fatima and Imam Ali. He's your leader now, and you must help him, even if that means you give up your life so that you can protect Imam Hussain." I would listen to my mum if she told me to do the same, but I think I'd be a little bit scared. Oh, it just wasn't fair, and the whole thing wasn't fair. Would you, Teddy? Would you go and help Imam Hussain? You are brave, Teddy. Look, you're even wearing that badge. Oh, that's very good. Ja'far ibn Ali went to check if Imam Hussain was needed, but instead he found the Imam talking to Allah whilst he was on his prayer mat. Ja'far ibn Ali was so upset. Tears welled up in his eyes. Why should the Imam leave this world? He is such a good person, telling the baddies about the goodness of Islam. But they don't listen to him, Teddy. They just ignore him. What was that? Because they're just awful people and they wouldn't listen to him. Oh dear. This is terrible. The baddies are so angry because Imam Hussein's father, Imam Ali, hurt so many members of the baddies family. Now they're going to get his son, Imam Hussain. These baddies only think about making Yazid happy. Even Ja'far ibn Ali said it was unfair, and those baddies getting back at Imam Hussain, well, Imam Ali had done everyone a favour by getting rid of some of the other baddies from times before. You know, the Battle of Badr and the Battle of Uhud. Ja'far ibn Ali was always thinking about these things, trying to understand what was happening. He looked upon the camp of the baddies and wondered why they had turned away from the Ahlul Bayt. I mean, how could they even call themselves Muslims? Have they forgotten everything that Rasulullah taught them? Didn't he tell them at many different times that he was gifting them the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt? Oh, Teddy, you look so sad. I'm a bit sad too. These two will always be together, the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt, and nothing can separate them until they both meet at the pond of Khawthar in paradise. That's right. That's right. In the next world. If only they would stick to these two precious things, then everything in their lives would be okay, now and in the future too. All of a sudden he heard his older brother Abu Fadl al-Abbas calling him, and his other brother Abdullah and Uthman. I know that famous hadith, you know, the one about sticking to the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. Without the Ahlul Bayt, we wouldn't understand the Quran. Oh, I love them so much. Do you love them too? Oh, with all your heart. Oh, Teddy. After thanking Allah and praising him, Abbas spoke to his brothers and reminded them that following Imam Hussain was a wajib act. That means it's something that you have to do to defend and protect the Imam of your time. And Imam Hussain was the Imam at their time. And even though they had the same father, Imam Ali, Imam Hussain was the son of the Lady of Paradise, Lady Fatima. So that made Imam Hussain a little bit more special. He also reminded them that he was the son of Rasulullah, our beloved Prophet. He must not be hurt. So long as we are here to protect him from any harm that may come near him, he'll be okay. These words really helped the brothers to be brave and strong. Oh, Abbas, they cried, we are with you right until the end. Jafar stayed near Imam Hussain all night, patiently waiting for the morning sun to rise in the sky. I bet that night seemed the longest night of their lives. I wouldn't be able to get to sleep either, Teddy. I really liked the brothers, you know, the way they would do anything to help their Imam. It was a long night, but when dawn came and the battle began, Abbas called his brothers around him and told them to step forward and help their Imam. Serve your Imam and gain Allah's pleasure from this. Jafar went to Imam Hussain and asked for permission to join the battle. The Imam said, okay, but not without tears welling up in his eyes. Oh. It's a very sad time. Jafar ibn Ali rode into the battlefield and spoke to the baddies. I am Jafar, the son of Imam Ali. Imam Ali was kind and caring towards everyone. I am here to protect and defend Imam Hussain. He was so brave, Teddy, so brave. He went straight into the battlefield and got rid of many of the baddies. But so sadly, Hani bint Sabit Hazrami, that naughty, terrible man, got hold of Jafar and killed him. I hope that you learned something from this story. I did. I learnt that Jafar, the son of Ali, was such a brave man, and with his help, Imam Hussain was able to keep Islam the way the Prophet taught it. That is why, even though it seems like he lost, Jafar ibn Ali and all his friends who were with him were actually winners. Do you know why? Because today, we are here talking about the champion that was Jafar ibn Ali. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Ma salam.